Arsenal fans, welcome to In the North Bank and the big Sunday show once again. Um, oh dear, where do we begin this week? Um, Southampton, Friday night, and I think we were kind of buzzing for a game on Friday night. It's a good feeling, or it should be a good feeling on a Friday night. But look, it's football, and it was just one of those games again. And when it just, I don't know, frustrating. Today we have got Jonesy in for his debut with us. So Jonesy, how are you doing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Not too bad. Still a bit gutted after Friday night. It felt more like a punch in the gut, you know what I mean, than anything. We was all expecting the win. We won't go into it too much detail now, but yeah, we was all expecting them to come out feeling like a loss, even though we pulled it back to get that draw. It still felt like a loss.
Yeah, yeah. I think whatever way you look at it, it just, yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll address that. Richard, how are you?
Not too bad. Lots that goes on Sundays. Big family, so I get to sort of chill and not think about things too much, and just do the analysis, which is what I like. You take the emotion away. It's a little easier to digest sometimes.
Oh, sorry, I muted you there. Yeah, we all family, and I've probably got a load of bruises from the roller coasters with the kids. I'm not 13 anymore. I've been on every roller coaster going today. Um, Des, how are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm glad to be on with my twin brother. And it's been years since we've seen each other, but it's good to meet up. I'm glad it's on YouTube, so we can speak to each other. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're going to do what we normally do: talk about Arsenal, put a few things straight, sort a few things out. It's all good.
Yeah, no, lovely, no, good. All right, well, lads, there is lots to speak about, so yeah, well, let's get to it after this. So yeah, Friday night game, Southampton, and obviously coming into it, two draws, two disappointing draws, I suppose you could say in the grand scheme of things. One probably not so disappointing, being Liverpool. We know the scale of what that was, the task, but where that game took us early on, that's where the disappointment come, wasn't it, on that side. And then we go into the West Ham game. Again, look, we find ourselves in a really good position to then drop off like we did. Whether or not we just thought it was easy, too easy, and we thought maybe just stroll through the game, and the game took control of us really in that game. I felt at West Ham, and then we rolled on to Friday, Southampton, and this is where we were kind of almost like saying this is our kind of last chance saloon kind of game where it's like I said we can't really afford to lose it. We can't really drop any more points, knowing what's at stake the following game, and obviously going to the Etihad, the chance to be 7 points clear. Yeah, well, Jonesy, what were your thoughts coming into the game? Because I know we talk about, and I spoke about it last week after the West Ham game. I just want to auto forward to the next game. I can't be dealing with the in between. And yeah, what were you thinking going into the game?
Oh, I think like most of us was pretty confident going into it. I mean, Southampton are bottom, and if you're top, you should be beating teams like this pretty comfortably. But we were shocked straight after 10, 20 seconds again at the home. First time it was Bournemouth, this time out at Southampton. But it was just like what are we watching? It's got to a point where it's just like, what's going on? Like this, it's just crazy. And then obviously Walcott puts the second one in as well. It's just like, it's not going to happen. And it was just crazy because everyone, man, the people that were confident, I was getting 4-0 predictions, 5-0 predictions. Oh, we're going to break the goal difference. We're going to catch up to City's goal difference. It'll be 7-0, 8-0. And then you have that thought in the back of your head. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that simple with us at the moment. It's not. We've been there for Bournemouth. We've been there for West Ham, for Liverpool. There's a certain team today that smelt blood in the water and killed a team off. We just seem to lack that at the moment. We need to do what Newcastle did to Spurs. With these teams when we go 2-0, 3-0 up, you just need to smash them. But
it's not the first time, was it?
No.
For when we just look at that game for Newcastle, and they've done it against West Ham as well.
Mm-hmm.
So look, it's that real kind of just want to just get the job done and just motor through. Des, what thoughts going into the game?
Obviously, I was confident because it's Southampton, and as Jonesy said, it's bottom of the table. You've got to feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
But see, for me, it's slightly different because Southampton's the first time I ever saw Arsenal play, which was 1979, down in the Dell, before it was even St Mary's. Yeah, and I lived down there for years, so Southampton kind of had a place in my heart. I didn't want them to win. Don't get me. When it comes to Arsenal, Southampton, I didn't want them to win, but it's that old thing again, isn't it? They're fighting for their lives, and when you're fighting for your lives, you play a different kind of football.
Mm-hmm.
You go out all out, don't you? Because you just think, well, what the heck? If we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. But yeah, I went in there, like Jonesy said, and I'm sure Richard's going to say the same thing. Went in there pretty confident. I thought 3-0. I wasn't thinking 5, 6, 7-0. Because as Jonesy said, we haven't got that kind of killer instinct at the moment. I mean, we can score. We've got no problem scoring goals, but we haven't got the killer instinct, and hopefully that will come next season. Because it's too late to get it this season, really. But hopefully it will come next season. But yeah, to answer that question, I was looking forward to it. Friday night, I thought, set me up for the weekend. Put me in a good mood for the weekend. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I know from Richard from the previous show. Yeah, we were confident. I think what did we go 3-1? I went 4-1 or 3. No,
I went 3-0.
3-0.
You went 4-1.
Yeah. I think I went 3-0. I think I was the same as Richard. I don't think.
That's what the form suggested. That's what and everything. We did touch on that in the past. Southampton have come to us in bad runs and form, and they picked up a point. And we did say that they've done that in the past, but they've never won at the Emirates in the Premier. Not in the Premier League, at least. It was only the League Cup. So if they were to get anything, it would have been a draw. But we were both confident that it would be an Arsenal win.
Yeah, I thought I was on to my prediction after 50 seconds. Got that first goal, and it was like, okay. Look, I take it from the confidence I had for the previous show. And then when match day come, and although I wasn't nervous, there was something about before the game, and I was sitting in the bar with my mates, and my legs shaking, my legs just constantly, just almost active, and you're like. I got my mates going, are you all right? You're a little bit nervous. I'm kind of buzzing. I'm kind of I don't know. Is it the hope, just wanting to kind of get things going? I don't know. It's just something about it, and I looked at it and I just thought, it's that hope that kills you, and this is what I'm saying. It's that kind of feeling where you suddenly you're thinking about the game, and you're going probably a bit too much into it. Mm-hmm. But look, as soon as I heard the team news, that was the start of it all for me, really. And look, that team coming in. I'm going to go to you, Richard. What were your thoughts when you found out that Vieira was coming for Xhaka?
Well, the first thing was is he injured? Is he ill? What's the reason? Then it's okay. Of the players you've got, who's probably better in that position? And to be honest, he's got the seniority over Smith Rowe because of injury. So I thought, well, fair enough. That's the reason he's in. He's played more minutes. He's fit. He's been fitter for most of the season and deserves his chance on those grounds. Let's see how he does. It might be a little weak. I was surprised they didn't go look at Jorginho. Maybe he doesn't think he's a number 8, but yeah, I thought, well, he hasn't got much wrong. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, no, I looked at. I've been one that obviously staunchly stands up for Xhaka really, and obviously before this season as well. So even in his days where he was getting pelters, I still think he's a proper player that you want to have playing for you and being in the trenches with you. And to replace him, physicality wise, and just his want to kind of get on the ball with a player like Vieira, who I just feel is not at the races as such now. Just maybe that's just again game time, but also coming into a new league. It's not about him. There's potential there. It just kind of makes me a little bit uneasy when I suddenly see when Xhaka comes or goes out and doesn't play. We seem to lose that little bit of fluidity. And certainly, I wouldn't call Xhaka obviously defensively, but I think potentially that he may have made a bit more of a difference on that left-hand side. Certainly when we were kind of on the transition, just being kind of a little bit kind of overrun, weren't we? At times in the first bit, the press was really good, Jonesy, right at the start. I thought with Southampton. So, yeah, what were your thoughts on that first kind of moment with regards to the lineup, and then going into that ridiculous 14 minutes? I think was it? It was 14 minutes, wasn't it? And yeah,
it was crazy. I just thought, obviously, yeah, like you take Xhaka out, I'm always worried. I mean, Xhaka didn't start against Bournemouth, and the same thing happened there, didn't it? I think Vieira started that game as well, so he's got potential. Don't worry, I'll never slate a player, but he just doesn't look physically like he's ready for the Premier League, for a midfield battle. I think he needs to toughen up a bit in the gym. Maybe a loan move might do. I don't know, but he just doesn't seem himself. I personally would have stuck in Jorginho and gone defensively with them both in their party and Jorginho, and then you've got Odegaard as the attacking midfielder. So, we can't keep going into all these games being gun-ho and going with these players. Maybe we should try a bit defensively at first because we're being caught out last couple of games. But yeah, the lineup is good enough to beat Southampton. They're the bottom of the league, and that's what we all said at the start of the show. That team there on your right-hand side, that should be beating Southampton, But is it the pressure? Don't know. It's a young squad. It's getting to them. It's just, but then, Southampton did the job well. You can't take nothing away from them. The first 40 minutes, like you say, they pressed us. They hurried us on the ball, and we weren't up to the fight. Not for that first 40 minutes. They were all over us, and they did what they had to do.
They had to play, didn't they, Joe?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I thought they were really good and bright, and obviously they have got the youngest squad, haven't they, as well themselves? So we're obviously only number 2 to them, and some of the players really, really decent. So look, I think
Walcott proved he can still do it, Paul.
I thought the finish, what he done on there for the goal was really good. I thought the way he took the ball was really good.
Very Arsenal-esque when he used to play for us.
Yeah, well, look, you don't lose it, and I'm saying it's one of those where you just have to.
He's still got that bit of pace. Well, I didn't think he still had that much pace.
No, but again, if you've got the right ball that comes in and there is a willing runner, then it's a goal, isn't it? It's one of those. And you look at this that start of the game, and Des, I'm going to go to you directly.
Okay.
We start the game. We've got no real idea or clue how the game's going to roll, what game plan we really are going to use, as well as the Southampton. We obviously didn't know. Within that 50 seconds, we just gift them that goal, Ramsdale, and I saw him gesturing before he actually kicked the ball, and it was almost like just telling players just to kind of really kind of push out and just kind of make it a bit more wider, and then it divered, and it didn't. It took then like a Zinchenko like kind of moving in there to kind of get in to try and receive a pass, wasn't it? And look, they picked it, didn't they? They those attackers picked that pass. So. Yeah, it ripped up our game plan after 14 minutes and gave Southampton another one. What could you really put that 14 minutes down to? In all honesty, do you think?
Well, I think there's a few factors. We were missing the legend. We were missing the X-Man, right? Partey was playing very deep. He was just in front of the defence. Back there. They were pressing hard. And we crumbled. We crumbled for the first 15 minutes in respect to passing balls. And we've done that for the last 3 games. And I've got to say, Partey in the last 3 games has been bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's tried these little cocky passes, for want of a better word. He's tried these little cocky passes that haven't bear any fruit. But then I also say Zinni's been a bit off his game lately as well. His passing lately's been a bit diabolical and all.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, and like Jonesy said, I won't slate a player to the point where they deserve a rollicking, but I will point out when they're doing things wrong. And Partey can pass a ball like nobody else, but on his day. But the last 3 games, Paul, he hasn't been. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ramsdale for that little knockout. You blink and you miss it. They've scored.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
that quick. Why he didn't belt it? And we all say that Rambo's ball, passing out the ball is. There's not another keeper who can do it. But for one, and in fairness to Rambo, right? Has he made a mistake like that this season? That's the first one he's done like that.
No.
So everybody makes mistakes. It's as simple as that, right? And okay, we put the pressure on ourselves. Jonesy said Jorginho. I know he's a natural midfielder, but could we have not? I mean, Vieira. There's a player inside Vieira. He hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Right, and like you guys have said, and Richard probably saying the same. He needs more experience. He needs more time. He needs, like Jonesy said, maybe even a move. Yeah, but I rate him, but he's just not there yet. He's not Premier League yet.
No, that's it. I think that's what we bought him for, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Exactly. But could we have put Trossard there if we weren't going to put Jorginho? Because I think Trossard would have backed up Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka pretty well as Odegaard does. Yeah. So we've all got suggestions that he could have done. Why not play Emil Smith-Rowe? It's Southampton at the end of the day. They're bottom of the league. We're going to keep coming back to the bottom of the league then. Do you know what I mean? So they took their chances, and that's something else Arsenal can be guilty of this season. We don't always take our chances. We're too busy playing flash football. Instead of seeing the natural goal scoring pass, we're trying to take it round 2 or 3 defenders and then make that pass. You know what I mean? When we could have, I think I said it last week, we could have. There's a lot of balls we could play in a lot sooner, but we don't. You know.
Richard, we spoke on probably the last couple of shows I think we've had where we need to get that hard to beat kind of aura about us again, and making us a bit more stable, and almost taking us back to just like, you know what I mean, just a unit, just of being able to kind of just deal with stuff. And then we look at our start of the season and how well we've done with clean sheets, and look, we didn't have these kind of individual errors for most of the season, and obviously now we're seeing these happening. Yeah, I was saying about Jorginho, if he did come in, that would make it a bit more stable, because potentially you've then got Partey and you've got him as the two kind of pivot players, and then maybe get back to basics a bit more. And again, let's stop the flicks, let's stop these little kind of intricate passes around the danger areas, and when we try and do it. Obviously, the Ramsdale thing itself, if you obviously watch it, you obviously watched it back, Richard.
Yeah.
The pass what got intercepted, he's doing it to split lines, or to basically progress and try and get through that press straight up. But yeah, the attacker read it, whereas you've got the two options either side of him. What are your thoughts on just kind of getting that stability again?
Well, I think you have to credit Southampton first for that, because if you watch it back, Alcaraz moves in as a third forward, and they deliberately set up to block the lanes to Partey and Zinchenko. They knew they were our out balls. They wanted us either to pump it long or go to Holding, Gabriel, and then out wide. And unfortunately, Ramsdale fell into that trap, and he maybe should have done better once he got his hand to the ball. And that rattled us, for a good 15-20 minutes. We need to get that focus, stop being lackadaisical, because West Ham, after we went 2-0 up, we were lackadaisical. We thought we'd won it, and I think, and I don't know what you do with the players to drum it out of them, because the way they started that is, to me, was, we've got this. This is at the bottom of the league, Southampton. We're better than them. We can just do what we like. And it came and bit us on the arse again.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got options there. We missed the physicality of Xhaka, but you could have played Jorginho, you could have played Trossard, you could have played Smith Rowe. All three were probably physically better than Vieira, but Vieira's probably, out of the three, the better ball player. So I can understand why it was. It's just you're taking a risk on the physicality side.
Do you think he also played Vieira, Paul and lads, because there's a bond between him and Martinelli? It's like they're really, really good friends off and on the pitch. Do you think he thought, if I play Vieira, Martinelli's going to get more balls? Do you think that might be part of it, or am I just barking at it?
I don't know. I think he just likes the technical ability of him, just kind of on the ball and being able to.
Yeah, I can appreciate that as well. But
yeah,
it's like, for example, if I give you an example, it's like Odegaard and Saka. They seem to be able to read each other's minds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, chemistry comes into it a lot, doesn't it?
Between Vieira and Martinelli.
What I think he thinks is that of the players that he's got there, Vieira can pick a pass. He's good on the ball, but he can also score goals. So you're looking for a left-sided eight that provide you. And what I'm thinking with the Smith Rowe is that he's teaching, he's getting Smith Rowe to learn the role, and it's a bit like we've seen with Tierney last week against West Ham. He's learning the role, but he's not fully there yet, and I think that's why he's not playing Smith Rowe. He wants him in that left-sided 8, so that he can. But he's not positionally aware and tactically aware. So he goes with players that have played there this season, know the job, can do the job, which is a shame.
We're also forgetting as well, though, lads, the Saliba factor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not taking anything away from Rob Holding, but we are missing Saliba.
Yeah, it's the forward thinking of Saliba.
I think we discussed this, didn't we, Paul? I think it's a combination of you've lost Tomiyasu as well.
Yeah.
Because if you had Tomiyasu in, you know White's going into central defence, and Tomiyasu's your right back, and Holding is on the bench in. That's how it would have been in the last few games. But
you think we have to call Cedric back. The look says it all, Paul. The look says it all.
He kicked him out.
Where's Des gone? Oh, there he is.
I was only joking. I don't want that either. Don't be silly.
Oh, that's all right. I can't tell with you, mate.
No. Obviously no. But I'm just joking. But yeah, you're right. If Tomiyasu was fit, White would be in the middle. Benny Blanco would be in the middle, no, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, he is key, and I think that there's a lot as well with regards to how he deals with the ball in possession as well, because the build-up play seems to change as well. Certainly playing out from the back, wherever you're playing directly in from the central positions to now kind of almost playing out from the wings. There's obviously more threat in those central areas, and obviously if you can break lines like Ramsdale would do, or Partey, you've got options either side. But yeah, we spoke about it, Richard, didn't we? And we kind of said it was just it's something we are missing, and look, and it shows where we are as a club as well, with regards to our recruitment with the squad, because we know we're not City level yet. We're not juggernaut level with regards to what we've got available. And 2 or 3 injuries, we still find that there is potentially a drop off. But we'll still have drop off with the youth. You know what I mean? They're not going to be fully consistent, are they? There's always going to be a little drop off at times, because they are young, they are learning. They have not got the experience, so it's one of those. The goal was a thing of beauty, though, wasn't it? Our first goal.
On my name.
Yeah.
What a
Saka assist, and that was nice. That was. I'll tell you what, we were crying out for it, though, weren't we? At that point when we did get it, and I was quite surprised we went in actually as 2-1. Jonesy, after that goal winning, did you think that it might change, the tide might change?
Yeah, I mean, you look how Liverpool come out that second half. Look how West Ham come out that second half. I was expecting us to do that. I thought it was going to be like a role reversal. We would do that, but then we didn't. It come out and it was very, very slow paced. Partey was still misplacing all of his passes. Vieira was still out there, which I thought 90% of that stadium were expecting him to be subbed off at half time. But it just didn't seem to get going in the second half either. It was just very flat. And it took their third goal to really ignite the stadium. And by that time, it's too late, isn't it? And then it was we were trying to do the biggest comeback, the best comeback the Premier League has ever seen. But
Yeah,
It
we'll
was
talk
just
about
very
it. We'll
flat.
talk about the atmosphere in the stadium as well, because that was a little talking point.
Mm.
It went flat, didn't it?
Mm.
But you look at that kind of first half, and you saw when we scored, there was a lot of time wasting going on.
Yeah.
Well, weren't there? And yeah, the old tricks. The keeper was just constant in what he'd done. He didn't deviate from what he'd done from the first 5 minutes to all the way through, and it even started going to Newcastle-esque kind of things where other players going down, and there was yeah, there was one time in the towards the end of the game, it looked like one of the Southampton players had gone down in the area and looked like he'd done his knee. The way he planted his foot and then went over on it, it looked like he'd actually done something. And then when you heard the screams, it was like, oh my god, he has. He's done his knee on or something like that. It's like you could just kind of feel it. And then yeah, about 10 seconds later, he's asking his mate, oh, I got cramp. It's like,
Yeah, they were doing that a lot, weren't they?
yeah, oh, that's it. But it just that was Newcastle-esque at our place. So, oh, I don't know. Well, I think that didn't help. With a couple of fouls and yellow cards in the first half, weren't there? They were kind of just given a little niggle. Saka got taken down quite a few times, as he does. And then before half time, wasn't it? That Bednarek went down.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in real time, but I saw him go down. Obviously, you think he rode on Martinelli's back, wasn't it, or something like that, and then just landed awkwardly. But
That did look nasty, though.
yeah, that gave us the 7 minutes of injury time, and then that.
I will say, looking at it, and I've looked at it numerous times. I think Martinelli's very lucky there.
He was
Because
out.
he doesn't. No attempt to play the ball there. He's looking to make it back into the player, and he's very lucky not to have seen it, a card there.
Harry Kane gets away with it every week, so Martinelli.
Yeah, fair enough. But it is one of those that it's dangerous for the opponent.
Yeah,
and for that reason.
You could tell the way he landed, he was out cold.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think his head as such. I think it was more. The force of him hitting the ground knocked the wind out of him. But you've got to take care of a player, and he had to come off just in case the doctors decides there's too much of a risk. Otherwise, we're going down the rugby route with ex-players suing the FA for not taking care of them, and it's you can only do so much. But in cases like that, it's a doctor's position to say no. You're not. I know you want to go on. I know you want to help the team, but you have to be 100%, and I don't think you're 100%, and that would be dangerous to you and possibly somebody else on the picture.
Do you know what makes the match slightly worse, Paul? I'll make the say this, I forgot. Do you know what made the match slightly worse? In the manager's press conference, the Southampton manager even told us how he was going to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you've heard that or you've seen that, you've got to get into that. Like, well, if you're going to play like this, we've got to play. Even as a player, not forget Arteta for a second. But if the players have heard that, and you go, all right, so Sellers is going to play high press, whatever. Yeah. As a player, you've got to go. Well, if you're going to do this, we're going to do that. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm saying it simplistically, but it is.
Yeah.
That's how I can explain it. If someone's telling you I'm going to play like that, I'm going to do everything I can to conquer that way they're playing. You know.
I think that's a standard thing for how we've done. We've played against teams that try to play high press us, and we've done really well with it, haven't we? And we're passing and around them, and then that's the best way to counter and get past them. And this is where the progressive kind of passing works wonders, because you beat that press of 3 players or 4 players in and around your box, you're straight in midfield, certainly in central areas, where you've then got Martinelli, you've got Saka, you've got Jesus coming deep, picking up the ball and diverting the ball on somewhere else. There's all options all over the shop. Not even speaking about Odegaard, just the way where he picks up the ball, and it's one of those. Again, there's always risk, and that's the problem with obviously trying to play out, because there's risk versus reward, and those passes are risky, but if they're getting right, then there's a big reward at the end of it. And unfortunately, we're too early to react to get that 1-0, and then look, we got caught on the transition, and then that ball through to Walcott, and then that's it, and you're suddenly looking at quarter of an hour in and 2-0 down. Southampton have got a different game plan after that, and it's written then, isn't it? It's written for them to kind of sit a little bit deeper, and then really push on us when they win the ball back.
It gave them belief.
What's that?
It gave them belief.
Oh, of course, yeah. Give them massive belief, and look, they've got something to cling on to then as well, because they needed the points. And I think Saka had a chance on half time, didn't he, as well, straight at the keeper. I think that was it. He just got him behind, didn't he? Or was it? Oh no, it was Jesus, wasn't it?
Jesus, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That one where he slid in.
Jesus, yeah.
It's when he slid in, wasn't it? Just missed it.
Yeah. And then that was it, and it kind of petered out again. There was a bit more time wasting, and then that was it, half time. But I think we all kind of thought that we'll come out really fast. It didn't really happen, Richard, did it? It's much the same.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Southampton manager made a tweak at half time, and he went to a back 3 and wing backs. He was protecting these two wide players, Peters and Peronu, I think it was, and they were both on yellow. Saka and Martinelli had them on toast. So the idea was to protect them from getting sent off and being down to 10 men. And we struggled to adapt to that for a while. And again, criticism to the players, because I'm not sure who was defending that front post. It didn't say because Gabriel comes into it to try and get there, but he doesn't get there in time. But there didn't seem to be anyone there. It seems as they abandoned it. And you saw, I don't know if you were at the match or it, but on the thing, you saw Xavier going ballistic when they scored from that set piece. He was absolutely fuming with it. The way we conceded it, why we were set up for it. It wasn't something that he'd obviously set up for, and the players, for some reason, didn't stick to the routines that they've got.
Yeah, it looked messy from the highlight, and it looked like a couple of players, I think, had got caught in each other's way just past the flick on. It was kind of like they were in no man's land. But yeah, I looked at the flick on, and it was a proper Arsenal corner from yesteryear, wasn't it? Steve Bold at the front post, flick on, and look. No, you'll get nowhere if you don't follow your runners and deal with runners, and you know what I mean. Just be aware.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure why you've got Saka and Zinchenko, probably two of your weaker, right at the back post.
Well, either or, it's one of those, even just being on the post or being there active to potentially do something about it. Both have done neither.
Yeah.
On that side, so. it was a free header, wasn't it? It was, but there was almost like we had the corner as well in the first half, didn't we, with Ben White?
Yeah.
And Ben White flicked the ball over, and it's obviously going into the back post, and yeah, obviously Alvarez, well, not Alvarez, what is it? Alcaraz, yeah. Someone was Alcatraz. I think someone had like named it. So I saying it was like, yeah,
He cleared off the line, didn't he?
you're not going to
He's
escape out
a
that
nice
one.
player.
So yeah, so he come back in and got back in and got the ball away. But look, that was destined for the net, and had that gone in, then we would have been looking at something else, wouldn't we? I think, but yeah, it was a mess. But yeah, 3-1.
The mountain to climb, wasn't it?
I don't know what you heard on the TV watching it at home, but with regards to the atmosphere, I don't know about you, Jonesy, as well. I just thought it was so. It seemed different. It seemed different to a normal game at the Emirates than usual. Almost like it was a different crowd. It was like a different crowd in areas, and you saw it from 10 minutes on. And you're hearing the expletives. You're hearing the proper 5-year go Arsenal crowd.
Yeah.
Style, you're effing this. And it was like, what are you? It's like 10 minutes in. What? Get behind. And I don't know what it was like round you, but yeah, it just seemed really strange. And then that third goal just. I've never seen. What was that? It was about 60. Yeah, it was the sub, weren't it?
Yeah.
Scored the header, and it was like 66 minutes. And I've never seen so many fans just up and leave.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting behind the Ashburton Army, so I was like a couple of rows behind them. So them boys never stopped singing, so they were pretty loud the whole game. But it just felt like the life had just been sucked out, and then people were going mental, swearing. I was sitting right on the edge by the stairs, and then they were going out fucking shit. We bottled it again, same shit as last year, and it's just like Ramsdale shit, like you were saying. But then 2 weeks ago, you were kissing his ass after the Liverpool game. It's just like it was crazy, and then. People were going out, and it was just like, where are you going? There's still a good 20 minutes to go in the game. Plus, there'll be quite a bit of injury time. You know what we've done against Bournemouth. It's just these flip-flop fans make me sick. You know, people are crying out for tickets, and then you get these guys. I mean, I had two. I don't care if they're watching. They might be, whatever. They're probably not. Two people in front of me, a man and a woman. They spend the whole time on their phone kissing and cuddling, not even emotionally involved in the game. I think. You're taking up 2 seats. Just fuck off home, you know.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. I would have grabbed his phone and fucking throw it, but it was absolutely a nightmare. And as soon as we got the Odegaard score, they all come flooding back in, and they're all trying to stand in your row, like fucking move. You wanted to go, you fucking go. You know, I was getting angry with the fans as well, but I was just caught up in the emotion of the game. But I will say, when it was 3-1, there was a dad and his son to my right of me, and the boy was in floods of tears. And I was just like, yeah, this is what it does to you. But he's still there. He's watching the team. He's crying. Don't get me wrong. It's sad to see. But he's still cheering them. You can hear him in his croaked voice singing Arsenal, Arsenal. And why you got grown men walking up the stairs effing and blinded? It's like, this kid's got more support than you have in your left toe. It was just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, Des. It's just...
Don't get me started, mate.
No. I said it just seemed strange, just, and that whole kind of thing. And I know, it's then that game that potentially we've lost it, and no one wants to kind of be around. But this happens every game where people just walk out early on. Yeah, and it's I don't know.
Mate, the truth of it is this, right? The truth of it is this, and this isn't my rant, it's part of my rant, okay?
Part one.
I'm being absolutely honest with you now. Arsenal supporter, right? 42 years. Richard's probably been an Arsenal supporter 40 plus years.
I'm not that old.
Hey? I'm just guessing. Right?
You know, I was the same as you.
How long have you been a supporter?
I was I was about 4 when 89 happened, and I was in the pub with my dad. So yeah,
30 odd year, yeah?
yeah, say 35 years. Yeah,
30, Paul, how many years for you?
Well, 89 was the moment.
There you
So
go. All right.
I was
We're talking,
I
between
was
the
just
lot of
over
us, we're
7.
talking about 120 years of support for Arsenal. Through the thick and the thin, right? The good times and the bad times. Yeah? Now, this really boils my urine, right? I've got to say this because it really annoys me, right? I, as an Arsenal fan, will stay till the bitter end. Yeah? I may not be happy and I may say things, but I will stay till the bitter end. What really annoys me is when fans just go, "Oh, that's it, I'm off home."
yeah,
Like Rosie said, why did you buy a ticket?
Yeah.
If you're not as passionate as we are, right? And I know there's lads out there that are. I'm not pointing fingers or anything like this. But if you paid money for a ticket to watch your team, stay till the end. And I tell you what, win, lose or draw, clap your hands at the end of it. And
100%.
that's what being an Arsenal fan means to me. I can't, like what I was watching it on, like Jonesy said, I had the effing and the jeffing, right? I must admit, I don't remember the lad banging his drum. That is always banging his drum at the game. But I heard that the effing and jeffing, right? And yeah, I can understand that he's frustrated. Show your frustration, fair enough. Yeah, but end of the day, those lads, win, lose or draw, will always give you your all. Yeah, I heard there was in one of the chats I'm in. Oh, Odegaard beat. Why isn't he taking Odegaard off? Right, and everybody knows me and Odegaard are going steady. Right, I love Odegaard. Right, he got us back into the game. Yeah, don't be talking like this. We don't need this negativity. And then you get accused of calling people, well, I'm not an actual Arsenal fan because I'm expressing my opinion. I have never, and I will never say that anybody isn't an Arsenal fan. That's not my right to do that. Okay? Just because I don't agree with your opinion doesn't mean that I think you should, burn your Arsenal shirt or whatever you've got. Okay? And the thing that gets me is my opinion counts as much as anybody else's. Right? I come on here week after week. I have a good time with you lads. I say stuff. I might be wrong. I might be right. I don't claim to always be right. And if I am wrong, I don't mind people.
That's correction. Very rarely right. Sorry. Just to put it there. Sorry. Carry on, Des.
Like Josie said, if the chat wants to come at me, come at me. I really don't care. All I'm saying is though, right? One mistake, and half of our fan base is like, oh well, yeah, effort. I'm going home. I'm doing this. We should have done this. We should have done that. Well, in the heat of the moment, as we've said earlier, everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. At the end of the day, I love Arsenal till the day I die, whether we win, lose, draw, or whatever. And I'm glad I've got that off my chest because it's been doing me head in for days.
I'm glad we've given you a platform to vent your.
Well, that's what I like about this because I've got a platform to do this. But it's never anything personal to anybody. Because I tell you now, right, I've had mental health issues in my life, okay? And I tell you now, I love this platform. And I'll tell you why. Not only do I get to speak to great lads like yourself and other lads that let me on their shows, right? When you've got mental health issues, it's good to know that people are there listening and can have a conversation with you. But what's even better with YouTube, and I'm grateful for this, Paul, right? I genuinely mean this now, right? Even when this video is all said and done, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, even when this video is all said and done, I can sit there going, well, it's going to be on YouTube for years. There's people listening after this show, and that gives me positivity. And I love coming on with you lads, and I know Josie, it's your first night, and I'm sure you'll be on for many more, right? But I love coming on with you lads because at the end of the day, you've got 4 lads here as an example who love what we're talking about. It can't be beaten. Cannot be beaten. So thank you for letting me say that. I appreciate it.
Oh, good. What's that, beer? Right, yeah.
You're having a nice night.
Yeah, no, I find, you know, what I mean, and we all want the same thing. We want a successful club. We want us to be doing very well, and yeah, putting smiles on our face week in, week out. But again, opinions, beliefs. I don't know, just those kind of things. Some are a bit more extravagant than others. Some are a bit more forceful in how they go about saying things. Again, it don't make you any different a sport, but again, there's people that will always find negatives when, in all honesty, we'd look at it and say, well, there isn't that many negatives, or it's pretty much positive.
Some people overanalyze, Paul. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
They overanalyze.
What was that?
That's from Mrs. Sorry. What about that?
I thought it was a dog.
No, it's me. Sure, Daddy Corner, love. Daddy Corner.
Yeah, don't open the door.
Don't open the door.
But no, it was yeah, what was it? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, the negativity side of things, and then when you're really positive, and I'm not saying I'm overly positive. Like I say, I've not. Sorry, no, I am always positive, but I don't go over the top. I know where Arsenal were. I know where they dropped to, and I know that to get us back to where we were before we come to the Emirates, it's going to take a long time, and that is going to be a massive transition time to kind of get us with the squad, and yeah, just the whole everything about it, from the actual aura around the place to the connection with fans, connection with everyone, a massive effort, and yeah, because I'm being positive, or I see the positives, you get classed as being delusional. Or
Well, let me just break it down quickly and join in, lads. Join in, right? I'm not, but we are still 5 points in front.
Yep.
I've heard other comments. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff throughout the week. I've heard other comments where, oh, it's mathematically over. Well, how is it mathematically over? We're still 5 points in front. Okay, and let's go worst case scenario, guys, and this is the truth, right? Even if we were to finish second, let's say worst case scenario, we finish second, we've still got Champions League. Yeah? Don't get me wrong, I'd be as disappointed as the next man, but we've got Champions League, and we haven't had that for years.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I said in the end, and this is it. Start the season. We buy our players. We have our list of players. Whether or not it's a first choice or a second choice, we bought the players. We bought the players to put us on the right path for where we need to get to. And that goal was getting back in the top 4 Champions League to then build on. Okay? All our targets are done. And look, we can't suddenly change expectations halfway through the season and suddenly say, oh well, yeah, the windows weren't as good as, because look now we're kind of struggling, or we haven't got the cover. It's not, we've not done it, but because we haven't bought our main targets, we bought second targets, so it ain't that great. And it's like, well, look, doesn't always mean your top targets are the best targets, are they, Richard?
No, and I mean, again, as Des and Jonesy, I was annoyed because trying to get a ticket for the last few home games is impossible. You're on, you get booted off. So seeing people who I'd have paid for their ticket, and I'd have stayed to the bitter end 10, 15 minutes after, clapping them, even if it meant I had to sleep on the station that night to get there, because that's what it means to me. And you pay that much money to support your team, you support them to the bitter end. Yeah. Again, language used, terminology, bottling it. The very definition is you're not brave enough to do something. The way we've played against Liverpool, West Ham, and for 60, 70 minutes against isn't the team that has bottled it.
No.
Blew it, maybe, made mistakes. That's get your terminology right. And also these people coming out, I want to see us challenging for titles. You're not. No, you're not, because as soon as we're challenging and we might lose, you're losing your mind. What you mean is you want to see Arsenal win titles and win every game, but as soon as it gets a bit hard and we're not winning, you can't handle it. That's not how it goes. We real men, real fans know that if your team's going to challenging to win something, there is going to be disappointments along somewhere. You're going to either be on top of the world or you're going to be down in the dumps, and you accept both, and you ride with it. It doesn't make it feel any better at the end of the season, but as Dad said, we are 5 points clear, but the things haven't changed from half such. We had to go to Liverpool and get something. We had to go to City and get something. We already knew that. The difference is, ideally, now we've got to win at City to keep the title in our own hands and the destiny in our own hands. And that's the only change. Nothing else has changed. So I'm not sure where all these people are losing their heads. I mean, yeah, we know City, and we're all real. City are favourites at the Etihad, because it's their ground. They've got the best squad in the league on paper, but it's a cup game, and we've got to go and show we want it more than them. And if we do that, we can take something. We went there in the FA Cup. We had chances to win that game. We had the chances at the Emirates to win that game. We didn't take them, and then we gave goals away, and we weren't defensively solid. So we know what we've got to do. We've got to be efficient in front of goal and solid at the back, and we can get a result there. I'm sure we can get a result there. I'm not saying we definitely will, but I believe this team can go and get a result at City.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with it. I really do. I really agree with that. Because any given night, anybody can beat anybody. So West Ham, Southampton have proved that, right? They or do you know what I mean? They came to give us. All right, they didn't win, but they came to give us a game, and that's where we dropped points. And Richard, the stat man, you'll know this. Last season on the run-in, we lost 3 games. Yeah.
We won 5, lost 2. Our last 7 games, we won 5, lost 2.
Exactly.
The 2 we lost were Newcastle and Tottenham.
We might do that for the rest of the games. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you've got to have hope. The thing is, guys, you've got to have hope. If you haven't got hope, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
You've got nothing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, going to the stats, the last 19 games, the last set is where we came unstuck. We won 11. Drew.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We could have made it. We could have made it so much easier for ourselves.
Drew 3 and one lost.
But we've gone against 3 teams. If you look at the last 3 games, Liverpool want to get top 4. Look at it this way: Liverpool want to get top 4. West Ham and Southampton don't want to be relegated. They all had something to fight for, just as we had. And they matched us. That's all they did. They matched us.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, if we go back to the game on Friday, right? Okay? When they scored the 3rd goal, which obviously at that point I'm kind of, or it could be over now. Could be, right? Because we're running out of time. the moment they scored the first goal from the kickoff, I think they only got into our half twice in the rest of the minutes. We had pegged them so far back in their own half that I thought we might get another one. I didn't know if we'd get a 3-3 draw, but I thought the way we're playing, we might get a consolation. Yeah. And then Saka, Starboy, pops up right at the last couple of minutes. Yeah. Do you know what it proved to me? And I can only say it as I see it, right? Arsenal have fight. This season, we have fight in us.
Resilience and mentality, isn't it?
Yeah. I was saying before the goals, when it was 3-1, I said we just seemed to be really, actually, real bad at creating the chances in that game. Like we didn't really test the keeper.
Yeah, that was my frustration.
And
25 shots.
Yeah, 6 on target in the end of the
game. That's the frustration as a fan when you come away from that game. I think you get those 8 off, and there was 8 off target and 11 block shots. You take 8 of those off target and get a few more of them on target. That result's different. You're a little bit more composure, but especially the party one in the dying minutes. While you're blazing it over, keep the ball, get a better chance. It wasn't. It's they're the things that you can be frustrated and angry at the players for.
Yeah, I was frustrated.
You can't question their mentality and their resilience and their attitude, because this season it's been spot on and it's been impressive.
Do you want to know my thoughts about these last 2 games?
Yes, please.
Well, you've probably heard me already saying it. But I still think this game on Wednesday has been playing on their minds quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think subconsciously, are they trying to do just enough to get through the games that are there, knowing that they've got one massive cup final? And we talk, even like you look at, say, like the FA Cup now. Whoever gets to the final, no one will want to really kind of put it in 100% potentially, because they could be out of a cup final or whatever like that. So you play a little bit within yourself. You want to reserve a little bit of fight for that game. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it would have come from the manager. That doesn't happen. I think you'll always want them to do it, but subconsciously in that head, maybe the inexperienced players are a little bit. Let's just do enough. And what was I saying? I said on the West Ham game reminded me of Sporting Lisbon, or that kind of. We'll do just enough to get through the game, but then obviously once the game took over, then that was it. And I felt at times, even like on Friday, the tempo wasn't really there.
No.
Certainly in that first half, I'd put that one as a performance like that home game against Sporting Lisbon, where there was nothing going on. We didn't get it, and as soon as we then hit Palace at the weekend, all of a sudden it was like bang, 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 bang. There was such huge belief, there was huge tempo, and we blew them out of the water. So I just wonder if that potentially was just on their heads, and it's obviously a risky thing to do by putting it all in one basket. But that was just my thought on maybe potentially those couple of games. Take Anfield out of the equation, because that's as frustrating as it was. Again, it's a different place to go. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it does seem that they're trying to keep a little bit extra in the bank, and that may be because they're looking at the City game and knowing they're going to have to go and leave everything on the pitch.
Yeah, massive, isn't it? Absolutely massive.
Yeah. But we've known they will have known that from halfway through the season. We've known it from halfway through the season. And if you look at it, I mean, you've got Martinelli on 15 goals, and I think it's 10 assists. Saka's on 13 and 11 assists. and Odegaard's on. It's not quite at 20 goal contributions this season. So we've got three players, and probably our three most influential players, on nearly 20 goal contributions each. And that's really good for young players. And they are all young and relatively inexperienced in terms of their careers. They're only going to improve.
Yeah, no, they are, and so it's really good to see everyone moulded in. And look, go back to City about like old as well with regards to goals going from everywhere, and that was good. Midfield linking up with goals and scoring. We're doing similar with obviously with Odegaard. Even Xhaka with the goals he scored, 7 goals, isn't he? Or 8 goals.
Not five.
He's still got time to get them 10 goals, Paul. He's still got time.
I said I'd love him to get double figures. I told him.
I would love him to get double figures. I really would.
Yeah.
Jonesy, do you want to give your thoughts, mate?
He might get a hat trick.
I've said a lot tonight, so I'll give mine in a minute. Give your thoughts, Steve.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you guys. The team look like, they're just waiting for this game Wednesday. How crucial is probably the biggest game in our history of the last few years. It's
It is the modern day 89.
I was speaking to one of my mates last night. He puts it up there with the Champions League final. It's that big this Wednesday. The chance to possibly, and I'll say possibly, go 8 points clear. And then they win their 2 games, we're still 2 points clear, But I still personally, I don't know about you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on. But I think City have got at least a loss and a draw in them in these last few games. I can see Brighton definitely causing them problems, even toward the Brentford, the last game of the season. If Brentford are pushing for them European places, you never know what could happen. City have been involved in final day dramas before. And I just feel...
And you've got Wolves and West Ham as well,
exactly.
In there.
I feel we're going to be involved in a bit of drama at the end of this season. It's not over yet, not by a long shot. Buckle up, boys. We've got a long way to go.
We're still on that roller coaster, aren't we?
Exactly.
So, this is how I see it, okay? I just want to go back to the game for a second, because what things that annoyed me in the respect of, because we haven't said about this, Paul, so I'm only bringing them in quickly. Trossard nearly scored the winner.
Yeah.
Right? Hits the bar. Partey, you're never going to score from there, son. The only thing you're going to hit is pigeons. Do you know what I mean? You've muted yourself, Paul. You've muted yourself, mate. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, press that button. Press the mute button,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Yeah.
That was party of last season, wasn't it?
The thing is, the whole stadium was shouting shoot as well, which is a bit like...
Well,
You also shoot from Ramsdale.
I just want to bring this up as well. Does Partey know what he's doing when it comes to corners? Anyway, back to Paul's thoughts. Okay, so I look at it this way, right?
You've already had your bit.
We're one of them that can stop them from getting the treble, the quadruple, whatever they're going for, right? We're one of them that can stop them, okay?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you've got to drive into the players on Wednesday night. We need to stop them, right? Yes, they are unbelievable, all right? And I think I might have touched on this last week, but it's the truth. Since Greenish has played for Man City, how cocky has he become? He was never that cocky with Aston Villa, but now he's like, whoa, 30 big whatever. You know what I mean? Sticking his chest out. Yeah. So we need to sort that lad out on Wednesday night. We do need to leave a back if possible. This is one game where we do need to leave a back. It's the same game where we need Partey to put his football head on. Yeah. I would say we need the X-Man back. Unless he is going to try one of the things that we've suggested, i.e. Trossard, Emil Smith-Rowe, whatever the case may be. But if X-Man is better by Wednesday, he plays for me. Okay? There's so many people saying, like Jonesy said, there's so many people saying, oh, Man City won't drop a point till the end of the season. I don't believe that. I think there are teams that could take them to a draw. I think there are teams that could beat them. If you can cut out Haaland, if you can get inside Haaland's head, that's half of the job of beating Man City. Yeah, and I know people are probably sitting there listening to me as that's very simplistic, but it's the truth. Yeah, if you can put Haaland off his game, you've got a better chance. Yeah, I still, as I said before, it's not mathematically decided yet. I do believe we can go to Man City and we can, at least get a point. Because then that's still 2 points dropped for them. Yeah? I'm really hoping, regarding the players, because we've got Thunder and Lightning up front for Starboy. So Thunder's Jesus, you've got Lightning in Martinelli and obviously Starboy Saka, right? But what I really, really want for them guys is Martinelli this season to get his 20 goals, Jesus to get the double figures, or is he there already? I can't.
Not quite. He's one off it.
One off it. All right. Okay. I would like Jesus to get his double figures. What's Saka on at the moment, Richard? He's with his.
Hang on, I can tell you exactly because I've got the stats
Go on,
here.
stat man. Tell us. Go on.
Scroll up my many thousands of pages of stats.
Encyclopedia now.
He's on 13 goals, 11 assists.
So, guys, genuinely, I'm asking you a question. Like, how many goals do you see Saka scoring this season? Do you think he'll hit 20, or do you think?
I'd like to see him try break at least at 15, get maybe to 16, 17. Martinelli's on 15. He's got 5 assists. Saka's got 11 assists. Odegaard's 12 goals, 7 assists.
12. I'd like to see Odegaard get 15 if possible.
Get up to 15 as well, yeah. And Jesus is on 9 goals, 5 assists.
And also, I would love X-Man to get 10 goals.
Yeah, and Xhaka's 5 goals, 5 assists.
Well, 10 goals in all competitions. You remember, Paul, 10 goals in all competitions, right? Yeah. Because I tell you now, right, me and Paul...
that's only Premier League.
Yeah, I think he's got 7.
I'm giving it all the competitions. I've got a little bit of a wider, but me and Paul, what's the word? Predicted. That's it. Me and Paul predicted that at the beginning of the season, and we were saying, "Oh, X-Man, Jack is a legend," and I can't believe how many people are like, "No, he's not," and. Again,
he's always been a decent player, hasn't he?
He's proven himself. The whole team, at the end of the day, they've proved themselves this season. Look, it's Rambo. It's redemption. Yeah. If you break it down, for Rambo, it's redemption. Zinchenko and Jesus have got something to prove, and they're proven. And you could go through the whole team and say something positive about every single player. And how many Arsenal teams could you do that for?
The other thing is also, it's our best chance to go and win it. We won't get that chance again for 15, 20 years. It's like what? Chelsea going to get better, Man United going to get better, Liverpool going to get better. It's like
Chelsea are lucky they're not in a relegation battle.
Arsenal not going to get better, or is what we've hit our ceiling now? Have we? Again, it's like there's no kind of Arsenal will get better as well. We'll get stronger. It's like there'll be a chance. We'll be still in there with a chance. Just because other teams will strengthen doesn't mean that we're not going to strengthen. And
we just need to do our business quicker, Paul.
Well,
sorry about that, James. Strange
and the other thing as well, that point against Southampton this season, London is red.
Mm. Yeah. It's very red.
There's no one can deny that this season. London is red.
The other thing is it's mathematically impossible for us to finish out Champions League places now.
Exactly.
So not even Brighton can, who were the team that had the mathematical or in the back position.
teams this season. Fair play to Brighton, fair play to Brentford.
Yeah.
Teams you never think you'd see in the positions they're in. Tottenham.
And
Jog on.
I think, have they got Wolves and West Ham as well? Who could, and they've got a couple of relegation teams in there as well. So
I mean, Chelsea are lucky they're not in a relegation battle at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. I was hoping we could play like a mid-table team that's got nothing to play for. Obviously, it's coming up, but it'd be nice to have got that out of the window or done and dusted now. But
Sorry, Paul, you were saying about players getting players, right? Okay, and we didn't get off those choices. Well, I was a Modric fan. I thought Modric would have suited Arsenal, right? But I've been totally proven wrong on that score. I mean, John Laguna, he was absolutely right on it, you know?
yeah, well, look, he weren't a player to come in and do it there
right
and
now,
then.
is he?
What
Well,
he probably needed was an identity, and then someone coming in to say, right, okay, well, this is how I want you to play, and this is my belief for you. Go and show me what you can do, not actually come in and then another manager gets sacked and then
He's in the wrong team. He's definitely in the wrong team.
It's a mess. It's just a mess. And look, and if someone's going to put his arm around a player, a young player coming into this country with a vision, I want you to do this, then he'd probably thrive more. When you're in this thing, and it probably wasn't his first choice. Yeah, he's been dangled a carrot, and then the manager he probably didn't sign him, Potter. It was probably all Bowley because someone else was trying to sign him. And yeah, like I say, what else can you say? It's a mess. They're going to be in some severe issues come the summer when they've got to try and shift out a load of players when they've not got Europe. So, look, I'm going to go into the live chat because we've talked far too much, especially that Bowley.
I put my hands up. Sorry, people.
So we should have dipped in earlier. Evening, Georgina G. She says evening, chaps. Yeah, she said that yesterday.
Evening.
Oh no, well, it was a little bit. It was a little bit sooner than that. Hope you're well, Georgina. And Sammy Exion, easy peasy. Let's go. Not sure about that one. Emerson. He's always in the chat.
Decent, good guy, Emerson. I've met him at Wonderville when we went up to watch the Bayern game.
Yeah, again, look, the reason for our performances, the nerves potentially. You know, it's going to affect people in parts. I think. I don't think it's the be all and end all. I don't think that's the main reason. But look, these players haven't experienced this pressure. It's been all right throughout the start of the season and playing rent free and nothing going on in the head, being free, playing the game and playing with a smile on the face. Now, when there's something really kind of in front of them, it's a bit more squeaky. Oh, as Alex Ferguson, squeaky bum time, isn't it? So it's is what it is. But yeah, that Benrick, I think had a neck injury as well. I think that's what it was. The corner holding was out jumped and it was flicked on. Zinchenko and Partey were caught ball watching. Yeah, I think Partey I think he was one of the ones that kind of ran into each other in the middle of the goal. But yeah, if the back post, if we're not kind of following the ball or seeing what's around us and not being almost caught to come back towards the ball, you get yourself in a position to potentially block the ball. I don't mean go and dive with your hands and go put us down to 10 men.
Talking about Partey for a quick second, does he need changing this season? Do we need to look to replace him? Or do you think we've got years in him yet?
I put him down for probably 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
I would say he's probably got one good year where he'd be first choice, and then the second one would be we need to then find. Well, we still need to identify someone that is going to be that replacement for him, which will come in and do.
Do you also think though, because he hasn't had the injuries this season, it's giving him a bit more of a lifeline?
Yeah, I think probably Arsenal have got a hold of his program, and actually, so they've been able to manage him better than they have the last 2 years. And
27 games.
yeah, so he's done well. I think he's struggled since the last international break. I think obviously there's been an issue whether or not they've been really managing him since then, because obviously they sent the trainer over there, and you're just wondering whether or not there is something slightly awry with him and he's not 100%, or there is a potential niggle that he's kind of playing through. I don't know. But look, to have him for what he's done this season has been good, and I'm pleased that we haven't really lost him for a huge amount of time. So yeah, I think that there's a few players there that are like a two-year period. I think.
Xhaka.
Yeah, look,
Xhaka's
I'll put him
one.
on there, and I suddenly say he'd become that squad player as well. Then I would expect after 2 years.
Still gives him time to become a legend.
Yeah, still get that statue. But yeah, it's all about keeping that nucleus, isn't it? Just the young players, and then adding to them, and the main thing is those like contract signings.
Yeah.
Get them under water. I think they just want to. They'll just wait till the season's end, and then that's it. They'll sign them. Someone say, who said something about if we don't win the league, we'll we're going to lose.
Yeah, it was Prosper in the Cannon Pod group. It's pure panic.
We're going to lose. We're going to lose Saka. We're going to lose Martinelli. We're going to lose. Blah, blah,
But
blah.
that's his opinion, guys. And end of the day, that's his opinion, isn't it?
This is opinion, but yeah, like I say, I think very short-sighted. I think on that side, but yeah, look, it is an opinion, but this is where we all kind of differ.
Yeah, I don't think those players will go. I think they.
No, not this. Not. Well, sign new contracts, and I think if in 2 or 3 years we haven't won the title and we haven't won the biggest trophies available to us, then they may consider.
Well,
but not this time round.
If you take Saka as an example, right? There's no guarantee that even if he went, and I'm not saying he will, but even if he went, there's no guarantee he's going to walk straight into a Man City.
And there's no guarantee they will win the next three titles, is there? So.
No, that's it. So yeah, I look at it and say at the end of the day, if Arsenal show ambition and they show those players that they are moving in the right direction and this is where they want to go, and they show it on the pitch, then these players will stay and commit. It's when obviously we go the other way, like we have done previously. That's when players do question it.
To be honest, I think both Saka and Saliba were holding out to see that make sure of that Champions League qualification, because what player doesn't want to be playing in that top?
Yeah, that's it. And again, look, that'll probably have a big say on their kind of negotiations as well, won't it? And that's it. No one wants to commit to anything, so it is what it is. It's
One player that we haven't talked about, or I think we should, is Reece Nelson. The last few times he's been coming on, he's been absolutely brilliant. You know what I mean? He
picked the game up, isn't he?
Yeah. So what do we do with him in the summer? I mean, he's out of contract, is he? I think he is, or he's.
They're looking to sign him to a new one, and the thing is, you sign him to a new contract, and you've got value for money whether you keep him or not. We do need somebody on that right side to compete or come on for Saka. We know that.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's saving money there anyway, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of the old school, wasn't he? The old guard.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he one of the,
Yeah, he's been over. He's played in Holland.
Oh yeah, he's been about.
He had a little stint in Germany, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
I think people were saying
In
Reece
fact-
Nelson was supposed to be Saka, but it turned out Saka went over Reece Nelson. So there was always that.
Yeah, I think he's developed at a different rate, hasn't he? That's the issue.
They're kind of both
And-
cut from the same cloth, though, aren't they? In
Yeah.
style, if you know what I mean.
No, look, he's a very exciting player, and yeah, I'd always keep him. I'd give him a couple-year contract, and I think, well, look, or you could, in like I said with Nketiah, if you're giving him say like a 5-year contract, you're giving him, say, in essence, a 2-year chance. Go and prove yourself. So you show us what you can do, and then if the goods are not shown, then you've got a 3-year kind of left of your contract. Then you get market value. So, should you need to sell, you've got the ability to sell the player for a good fee. So, like Chelsea can now try and sell a player with 6 years of a contract.
Yeah, and they're 8-year contracts that they're coming
Yeah,
out.
that's it.
Yeah. And you got to think with Nelson, right? He's actually probably our most efficient players. He's had 6 appearances this season, 3 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, and that goal against Bournemouth, for me, goal of the season.
Yeah.
No, it was really good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Bullet from a gun, wasn't it?
Brilliant. Amazing.
Emerson has just said, yeah, Ashburn Army were muted at times. Yeah, the drum player. You're right, Paul.
That gets on my nerves, that does.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the ground. I'm like, shut up. I'd rather hear what Graham Lassau's saying than you banging your drum.
So it was it was a different atmosphere, but yeah, let's hope it changes against Chelsea. Emerson actually praising the governor.
I think he needs me.
Yeah, is that one of the other names? Good points, well said.
Well, Emerson, I've got to give you a title change. I'm the enforcer, but thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate it. I'm not the governor. I'm the enforcer. So, but thank you very much for your comment, mate. It means a lot. And I'm sorry that I went off on one, but that's passion.
The governor's on annual leave, so it's fine.
I thought you were the governor, Paul.
Oh well, yeah. Maybe it was me. Maybe it wasn't for you.
Oh, all right.
Oh dear. Question, Emerson. Do you all think that Saka transfer talks, or that Arteta is overplaying him week in and week out?
I don't think he's overplaying him because the boy wants to play. I think the problem with Saka is he's not protected. That's the problem with Saka.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid's super talented, right? And if we ever do sell him, it'll be worth every penny going, right? But my thing is not being overplayed. I just think he's not protected because that kid will give you everything every game. I know he has had the odd games lately where he's not played so well, but that's because watch him all game. He's taking out 2 or 3 players every time he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're all smothering him. So for me, not so much overplayed, just the boy needs to be protected.
Yeah, it does need that, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean the other issue is who have we got in the squad to actually come on and produce the level of performance that he can. That is a big problem at the moment for Arteta. You haven't got somebody that you can throw on and will give you that level of performance, that level of output.
Richard, Reece Nelson is your only other option, really.
He doesn't do so well on the right as he does on the left. When I've seen him play, he plays better on the left than the right.
Well, then, you get Flip Martinelli to the right then.
Yeah, that might be the only other option.
No,
Or chuck Jesus out on the right and put Trossard through the middle. There isn't a natural replacement that works. Marquinhos is one for the future. You've got Cozier Dewberry Hall that looks at a prospect in the future, and it's what we do in the summer, isn't it? are we going to go for just a straight competition up front, or are we going to go for a player that can play across all three?
Trossard can play across all three, can he not?
He can. He hasn't played on the right very often for Brighton, and he did struggle when he played for us out there. But he being the older player, him and Jesus are probably the two players that you'd put out there because they've got the footballing brain to be able to do it for and do it to a good standard.
Oh, the keeper's in. That
Yeah.
time.
John the Geezer, better late than never.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Evening, John.
We're about to sign off, John, in a minute. We've been on the air for like 90 minutes, and like we all need to kind of refresh and get to sleep, ready for a busy work week. And
Did you not get the tweet, John? Or
I think he's watching the ladies one because they were doing a talk because the ladies played today, didn't they?
got
A good
2-2
result.
draw, didn't they?
we might as well have a quick.
Fantastic result. Considering the injuries we got, and Wolfsburg isn't an easy place. Coming away with a 2-2 is fantastic.
Just on the ladies for a second, Richard, because you know quite a bit about it. When is Beth Lee back and Wiedemar? When are they back?
Miedemar's not next season. Hopefully, sort of first month, possibly second month. Mead is looking to be fit for the World Cup. It's an outside chance, very unlikely, but she'll definitely be fit for beginning of the season because she's already on doing the treadmill where they lift you off, take the weight off your knee, so you can get the. So she's already doing that. Little, they're hoping to be back by the end of the season, but again, they're not being overconfident with it, and I think it's. And we know Williamson is out for the season. It's just very unfortunate, and I'm hoping that when they're going to the government, the one thing they say is improve the pitches. We can't be playing on substandard pitches.
Yeah.
Oh, have you taken your kids to any more under 18s yet?
I've come off to the final. So it's on Tuesday. Funny enough, so I've got to go to Yorkshire 4 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be staying over there, and then I'll be driving all the way back to then pick them up to then take them to the game.
You'll be knackered.
And then I'm at the semi-final second leg for the ladies. On May Day. So I echo that. It's a fantastic result for the ladies, and look, it gives them something to really kind of go for in that game. And look, over 45,000 Gooners in the stadium, be really good. So it'll be a really good atmosphere, and hopefully they get the result because having 3 players, look, your top scorer, I mean, now you're captain, and then it's obviously Beth Mead, obviously being gone as well, and it's mad. So they've done really well, and they've run out a little bit in the league. There's some tough teams in the league on there with Chelsea are a little bit.
Well, they've already got the Continental Cup under their belt, so. If we can get that Champions League, it takes it away from Sam from Chelsea. And that's the only thing Emma Page hasn't won as a coach. So.
I don't want to see Bulldog face lifting the Champions League trophy. I can't stand Emma Hayes.
No, I want the women can then, because then the women have got something they can really, they've got something to show for all they've done. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not in the way that other teams brag. But, you've never won the Champions League. So we will. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
May not be in my lifetime. May not be in any of yours, right? But it'll happen. It's Arsenal we're talking about,
Yeah, definitely. John the Gooner says, "Come on, you Spurs."
Yeah, good. Well done, Newcastle today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that was good.
AFC.
It's quite fitting. Spurs were trying to allude to the last time they won the league back in '61.
Yeah, have any of you seen the
What?
what was it? TikTok. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, expressions.
Oh, he
Spurs,
loses.
yeah, the Spurs one. Not
Yeah.
I
expression.
do love watching him.
His meltdown was funny.
Apparently, all the Spurs fans were hoping that emergency alert was the real thing. They wanted to end the world then.
Yeah.
At least we're not Spurs fans, lads.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it could be really.
John Gooner. John Gooner
so
goes
glad my
holding.
dad- I'm so glad my dad gave me freedom of choice.
Holding's got Erling in his pocket Wednesday. Well, let's hope so.
If Saliba's not there, I hope so.
Desmond's joined again, just a little bit too late. Yeah, live in Kampala. Let's go, Arsenal.
Nice to see you in, Desmond.
Yeah, good. Enjoying the show. So that's yeah.
They were leaving after 20 minutes.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Now, you paid what for a ticket? You leave?
Oh, crazy.
Mate,
So, yeah.
Jonesy, I was just thinking, you should get that couple in front of you, kissing and throwing and all that. You should have tapped them on the shoulder and go, cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, you should have said this isn't American baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
We got no football basketball. We've got no kiss cam.
You're not going to go on the big screen. You're not going to hey.
I couldn't believe it. I've had all sorts. I had someone put an umbrella up in front of me once. Couldn't believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
I went really high pitch then, sorry. What a shock. That's disgusting.
Emerson has just said, yeah, Paul, have you sorted out when you're going to do the show on Ticket Touts? And I'll see you on Tuesday or the first or the firth.
We're first.
The firth.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that Colin Firth or is that?
That's a new date, that is.
Well, the actual fact.
We've got a new calendar.
Yeah, I might as well put it back out. If you can all see, just
How do
yeah,
they get away with it, Paul?
I'm looking to do a little show, kind of just going over like the whole kind of ticketing issue.
It was crazy.
And yeah, how mental it's been getting tickets.
How much
Look,
are they charging, Paul?
Oh, it's crazy. Well, the Wolves ticket you could probably pick up for about potentially £32,000 if you wanted to.
Yeah, you're looking at
They're down
up
to
a tier 1,200.
Yeah, they're down.
But if you're looking at club level, it is nearly 30,000 for a gold level club ticket.
I'm just going to put down the back of my settee, see if I've got 32 grand.
The thing is, at the Leeds game, I paid £37.50 from my mate, and there was 3 German guys behind me, and they each paid £300 to sit right behind me. So 900 quid they've paid to watch the same game I've paid £37.50 for.
Yeah,
You couldn't believe it.
Next week, I'm hopefully going to go and get the tickets for Arsenal Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
So, but I don't know how much I'm paying at the moment because I've tried to do it online, and so I'm going to go to the ticket office and do it that way. But I get a person in free because they're classed as my carer. Yeah. So it'll probably cost, and I get a slight deduction as well because I've got.
That's nice of you.
I've got fancy footwork. You know what I mean? I could play for Arsenal. I've got fancy footwork. You know? But
was that you wanted me to come as a carer?
30 odd quid.
Des, was that you saying that you want me to come along as your carer?
Sorry, mate. I would normally, but I've already promised it to someone else. Maybe next season.
Oh, next time. All right, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
He's promised it to someone else for 10 grand.
There's a problem as well with that. There's a problem as well with that.
Oh, right, on the second choice. Right, okay, yeah.
No, it's not that. There is a slight problem as well, right? I've got to sit in the Geordie end because there's allocated seats.
Yeah.
And I can't go in the away fans. I've got to sit in the Geordie end. So I'll be like that. I'll be muted. I'll be like, yeah, come on, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's going to cost about 30, 35 quid. I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so just confirming about that. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the hot talking point. So it'll be another kind of exclusive, kind of just to kind of go through the ticket and stuff.
One more.
It's a massive topic, I think, and getting many kind of different viewpoints from different fans, and kind of just get everyone involved in it, because what can be done better? What I know the club are doing stuff behind the scenes, but look, from hearing people about the touts and experiences, then it's great. But yeah, these companies that sell tickets they don't have the tickets. They are just chancing it, and they're saying who's going to pay. And if someone does pay, then they go searching their contacts for those tickets, and that's the way. They
The
don't,
person that's bought the ticket. Or
well, this is part of the issue, isn't it? It's
Oh,
what they're kind of saying is, they're saying if anyone does do it, I know they can't do anything with regards to the money, but at least get that ticket back to the club after the game, which could
Right.
then be traced back to a red membership or a season ticket holder, and then something gets done about it. But look, that'll be a good little show. I'm just trying to piece together a little bit of free time, and then obviously these preview shows, and then this show just seems to mould into the next game, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
at this minute, so it's mad.
What's
Sorry,
the
Des.
waiting time for a season ticket now, Paul?
900, I think it is.
900.
I think it works out. I think next season. I think it's about just over just over 900. I think it'll be.
Saying that though, if you can get to every home game, that's not so bad.
No, I don't think if you looked at it, all those. Well, it's changing next season because it's only 22 games, isn't it?
Oh, did it cut to 22? Is it?
Yeah, it's 26 games, so you'd have 7 cup games, FA Cup or Europe, and then the 19 games. But because we weren't actually using all those 7 for the last couple of seasons or whatever, they've just cut it down now. So you have the league, and then you get your group stage included, and then you have to then go and buy cup games. They're then using it then as an incentive to say, there's going to be more tickets available to the general Arsenal fan rather than season ticket holders. So yeah, in theory, they've put prices up, but they've kind of
Games,
Is this
yeah.
trying to
I
stop
mean,
the
it's-
touts as well? Is this trying to stop the touts as well, though?
yeah.
Oh,
But-
one more point I just want to quickly make before we go off the air, right? All these people that have lost it this weekend, yeah, acting like the season ends tomorrow. Well, if the season ends tomorrow, remember this, guys, we'd be champions. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Yeah. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. Last one from Emerson. Richard, me and Ange are going to the match on the 1st of May. The 1st of May.
There again.
I'm only joking, Emerson. It's, the 1st of May. I know where it is. And congratulations to ex-player Bachuba Akpom to win the Championship Player of the Year. Yeah, I remember him in the reserves, actually. Oh dear, these youngsters that do go by. But yeah, he's done well. He's done well for him. So yeah, well done. But yeah, hope to see you at the games, Emerson. And yeah, we'll catch up and have a beer. Yeah. As well as you, Richard. But
Yeah, I'll definitely be in Tollington beforehand because I've already sort of arranged to meet Ange in the Tollington beforehand. So
all right, well, yeah, I'm sure we'll.
Are you going to travel next season if we? Champions League. Do you go to them sort of games, or
If-
you go to them games?
If I can get tickets, I will. I'll try and go. I've been over there without tickets before, but again,
You're going to do a vlog.
huh?
You're going to do a vlog.
The blog, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
at least the travelling's going to be to decent places next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do something. I'll probably do something, but yeah, look, I don't think anyone really.
You're not going to very many out of way places like Azerbaijan or anywhere.
Oh, yeah, well, look, it's an experience, but yeah, I don't think anyone want me to blog when I'm deep in German beer or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah.
I never want to go to Baku again. No.
Not sure. Not sure we could do a. Well, we could. We could do it in the North Bank big Sunday show live from the Hofbrau House or something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't know. I'm just not sure how to square it with the owners. But yeah, no, guys, really, really good show. Obviously, nearly 2 hours. So yeah, some good views, some good points, and yeah. All round good, and yeah, loads of people in the chat as well,
which is nice.
So yeah, it's good stuff. Thank you, Emerson, John the Gooner, and Fancast as well, Desmond. So yeah, really good. Yeah, I'll need to let you know what's going on next week because it's just mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's St Tottenham Day. Well, it was on. It was on Friday. I don't like to celebrate it because it makes us seem a little bit like Tottenham. They kind of been celebrating for 6 years that they finished above us and they got the trophy for that. But everyone in the UK, do you remember? You had something happen for the first time and you had this alert come through. Severe alert on all your phones.
Right in the middle of my TV programme as well.
This is a test of emergency alerts, a new UK government service that will warn Tottenham Hotspur fans to stop watching their side if there's a threat of serious humiliation. If you receive this message, please switch off your TVs, turn off your mobile phones and shut yourself in a darkened room, as Tottenham have probably gone full Spursy again. Do not emerge until May the 28th at the earliest. Visit gov.uk/Spurs alerts for more details.
That's clever. I like that.
On that note, love you, Arsenal. Thank you, Tottenham, for still giving. And look, they've given us some banter about Arsenal crumble, but look, 6-1. Champions League decider. I don't know, but guys, seriously, thank you everyone in the chat again, and yeah, the panelists, Richard, Des, and Jonesy. Brilliant first show. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
No.
And
Share this, guys. Share it so we get more people in the chat. We can argue with them more.
Get it, sharing, get people subscribing, and yeah, come and join in again. We'll see you next week. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on,
Beat Man City.